Hello, everyone. My name is Ben. I'm from Internachi, and I'm glad you all can make it for tonight's home inspection class. It's a live class that we do just about every month online. It's free. It's open to everyone. Just want to fix my microphone. Tonight we're going to do a home inspection. And if you'd like to ask questions, feel free. So you probably see a screen with a few dots, a few boxes grouped together at the top. Click that, and there you'll find a tool to, a button to click, and you'll be able to ask questions while we go over a home inspection. How to perform a home inspection, some inspection tips on how to perform a home inspection according to a standards of practice. So we'll start the webinar in just a few minutes. Allow a few more people to show up. Again, my name is Ben Gromicko. I am from Internachi. That's the International Association of Certified Home Inspectors. We provide training and certification to property inspectors all over the world. We are the world's largest organization of home inspectors. And tonight is a live home inspection training class. If you're a member of Internachi, you can upload your continuing education credits in your account. And the main URL for tonight is nachi.org/webinar. And that's where you'll find not only tonight's online training class, but a link to all of the other live home inspection training classes that we've had. We've had a lot of online webinars. We do 1 or 2 every month, live classes. And if you'd like to join our live class, you can ask questions during the live training. And that would be a little tool button at the top of your screen. There's probably a group of squares. Click that, and you'll find a tool, a button that will allow you to ask questions. And I'll try to get to those questions during the class. But I wanted to share with you a few things before we start. One, I wanted to make sure that everyone can hear me. So if you can make a comment that you can hear me, that would be great. Second thing is, I want to share a few URLs, a couple websites. So it's nachi.org, that's our main URL, domain name, nachi.org/webinar. The next one is nachi.org/everything. And if you're new to Internachi, you may want to go here, and I'll take you here. So let's slide this over. And here's the nachi.org/everything page. We put everything you need all in one place. And it's a simple step-by-step checklist to having a successful home inspection business. Step 1 is you join Internachi. Why do you do that? Well, as soon as you join Internachi as a member, a whole world of opportunities opens up to you, because as a member, we provide you free, unlimited access to all of our training. All of the training that's online provided by Internachi is free at no additional cost. So you join as a member, and you have access to a lot of other things. When you're ready to be certified, you learn at your own pace. Take your time learning. But when you want to become certified, a certified home inspector, a certified radon tester, a certified wood destroying organism inspector, a certified wind mitigation inspector, certified mold inspector, all these inspections. Whenever you're ready, you can become certified. We have over 30 different certifications from which to choose. And they're all here. That's step 2. Step 3 is we have a lot of tools that will help you market your business, help you develop your brand, which is who you are and why you're different from everyone else, and then market that message. Step 4 is take a home inspection business course. If you're a home inspector, I bet you're very good at what you do because you're technically good at what you do. You've learned a lot of technical aspects of the home inspection business, but are you really good as a business owner? So we have a free online home inspection business course. Every member has an online account through Internachi. It's a portal through which you access all this great stuff for your business. Step 6, we'd like to give you all the tools you need to develop a website. You have to get your business online. If there's one thing you do, is get your business online. We provide those tools. And we have a ton of membership benefits. And then on and on. We have about 15 steps you take. And that's all at nachi.org/everything. Today, we're going to do a home inspection. I performed a home inspection a while back. And I took a lot of pictures. We're going to go over those home inspection pictures. And we're going to learn some inspection tips along the way. And we're going to look at a bunch of defects that I found during that home inspection. And this is a home in the Northeast. So it's a cold climate. And it's around October. So it's fall, September, October. So we're going to actually have a home that has an gas-fired boiler, I believe, in this one. The first thing I do is I inspect the roof. And when I go up on the roof, I want to identify the roof covering material, identify that roof type. This is a gable roof. This is asphalt composition roof covering materials. I also want to identify how many layers of roof covering there is on the roof. By identifying how many layers, well, that helps me gauge on what else to look for. And also helps me determine how old the house is. You do not have to walk upon any roof surface according to the Internachi standards of practice. If you're trained in ladder safety, ladder performance, how to use a ladder, then yep, a lot of inspectors go up on the roof. I did. I built homes. I installed roofs. I'm very familiar with it. I'm trained to be on a roof. If you are not trained, you do not have to. You can perform a home inspection from the ground. You're allowed to do that. But I like to get up on the roof. And I carry big, tall ladders. And when I go to a home inspection, that's the first thing I inspect, is the roof. Ideally, what would happen is I show up early and I get up on the roof so that I can do all the hard stuff up on the roof. I do my inspection checklist, going through all the systems, the components of the roof system. And before I step on my ladder to get back down, I'm basically done with the roof. But hopefully, I time it just right and my client shows up. My client and their agent shows up into the driveway and I wave to them from the roof. That's a pretty good first impression because I haven't even met my client. Home inspection business is kind of strange. You meet your client after you're hired. So I was hired to perform my home inspection. We signed an agreement. I get up on the roof first. I wave hi to my client and I provide a really good first impression. Plus, I'm living up to my brand, which is I bring tall ladders to every inspection and I will try to get up on the roof to inspect the roof. And I will take a lot of photographs of the roof and a video of the roof inspection and provide that for you so you don't have to get up on the roof yourself. It's very dangerous. So I come down my ladder, shake my client's hand, take them around the exterior, tell them about the roof, send them inside, and I continue on my way. According to the SOP, you do not have to walk upon any roof surface. And there's the standards of practice, nachi.org/SOP. Follow the standards of practice. The other URL before we get any further into the class is inspectoroutlet.com. And if you don't want to get up on the roof, but you want to inspect the roof completely from the ground, you go to Inspector Outlet, and you may want to consider purchasing a tool. It's called a spectroscope, and there it is. Let's see if we can get it. There we go. So it's a way for your mobile device to communicate to a digital camera that's on an extended pole up to about 30 some feet in the air. You can, fully extended. And you can take a look at the roof from way above. Very close, angle it a little bit, look at the chimney, look down at the chimney from above you while standing on the ground. And it's a wireless connection between your mobile device, could be an iPad or iPhone or mobile device, and your camera. And all the equipment in between is provided in the Spectroscope package. So take a look at that, and that's at inspectoroutlet.com. Inspectoroutlet.com. All right. So we're back to the roof. And also, well, I might as well do some tools. If you're going to learn about doing home inspections, let's do some tools. So here's a tool that I use. It's a microwave leak detector. I stick this in a microwave, and it glows red hot. It just glows. It's little LEDs in there. And when they get bombarded by microwaves, it lights up. So I can tell that the microwave is actually functioning instead of, you know, cooking a hot dog every home inspection. You can use one of these. If you're doing a home inspection, you're concerned about anything that destroys wood. Well, moisture destroys wood, moisture and fungus and wood-destroying organisms, insects also destroy wood. And you can use this field guide. It's laminated, and you can use it to help confirm what you are seeing. So you flip through it, and it helps you identify the insect that you're looking at, or the damage that you're looking at, what kind of beetle it is. Yeah, and you can show your client that it's not termites that we're seeing, it's carpenter ants. You can tell them, you know, the characteristics of a carpenter ant. So that's a really cool guide, field guide for a home inspection. One of the best tools, we talked about running a successful home inspection business at natcha.org/everything, but you can download a digital copy of this for free, or you can buy the copy, printed copy at Inspector Outlet. Here's another tool that I use. You don't have to, it's not required by standards of practice, but it's a moisture meter. You can stick in your probes or non-invasive, and it beeps and gives an actual quantitative value for the moisture that you're looking for. And when I do an infrared scan, because I'm infrared certified, and that's a certification that International provides, when I use my FLIR iPhone infrared camera, yeah, hello. So I use this to look for anomalies around, just move it around the room, looking up, looking down. I'm not really quantifying anything. I'm not measuring anything. I'm just looking for anomalies, something different on the surface that shows some kind of different temperature. Moisture is typically an indication of, you'll see, it'll look cool, but it could fool you if you're not properly trained. So you want to follow up with a moisture meter. So these two go hand in hand. Don't do one without the other. Well, at least don't do infrared without a moisture meter. Another tool is this. You really don't have to measure anything or quantify anything, but you have to approximate for example, the thickness of the insulation in the attic. Here's another tool if you're going to do a well flow sample or pressure test on the main water line. The basic tools, you know, the screwdriver that's multifunctional, so you can take off the front jacket of the evaporator coil if you wanted to, or you got the screwdriver, and here's a volt tester, also the GFCI and AFCI testers, right? And I've got my big tester here that does all those crazy things with both GFCI and AFCI. So I just want to show you those tools. But one of the best tools that you can carry is absolutely free. Every home inspector should carry one. Get your hand. This is one of the best tools you have. It's really sensitive. If you're looking for drafts or cool air, the back of your hand is really good. And I always put my hand in my inspections. Get my hand in there, and that's why I wanted to show you this picture. I'm identifying 2 layers of roofing shingles, asphalt roof covering materials, and I'm taking a picture of it too. And that is my actual glove. It helps protect me on the outside. And on vacant homes that have not been maintained, or around the toilet area or the sump pump area, especially the electrical panel, I want gloves on, dry gloves with a lot of rubber on it. So when I go up on the roof, remember, you don't have to, but when I go up on the roof, I take a lot of pictures, maybe about 200, 150, 200 pictures just of the roof surface. And what I like to do is I like to think system, component. So I take a picture of the system, and then I take pictures of the components of the roof system. So I'm on the roof. Let's get to the ridge area. Let's go down the ridge, down the surfaces. I'm taking pictures of every plane of the roof surface. A lot of pictures. And then I'm taking pictures of components. Like, okay, that's a powered vent fan. It's not running today. It's kind of cool. But I have to remember to go back underneath. Sometimes that fan motor is actually missing. This is an old idea. So I don't know what's going on right now. I'm assuming that this is a powered roof fan. So I'm looking at other ventilation areas, components. And yeah, right here, let's see if I can use my tool. There it is. So I have a few shingles that have been replaced. It looks like some of the tabs, some of the shingles have been actually replaced. It could have been that tree nearby, a lot of leaves, maybe some ice damage. Looks like some scuffing from someone making repairs there. I don't know what's going on, but I identify anomalies like that to my client. The front right corner of the main house shingle roof may have been repaired in the past. Ask seller for more information. That's basically what I say. The roof system takes about a half an hour. It's really important to do the roof. And I like to prove that I was there on the roof. My hand is there. My feet are in the pictures. I'm up close. I'm far away. I'm in different angles, different perspective. The gutter and downspout system is part of the roof system. The roof, I think about how rainwater comes from the sky, comes down, it drains away, it's caught, or maybe it isn't caught, by a gutter and downspout system, and it's taken away from the property. Hopefully it's sloped away from the property, far away. If the gutters are filled with leaves, it really should have a gutter guard, but it should be cleaned out, right? It's not. So now I'm thinking, this is Pennsylvania. This is Pennsylvania. It rains a lot in Pennsylvania. So I'm thinking gutters are filling up and they're going to spill over. I got to think about water penetration into the basement or crawl space or lower finished floor areas of the house. The house is a system of interdependent parts. The roof is connected to the gutter, and the basement is dependent upon the gutter performing well. The foundation could have hydraulic pressure pushing on it because there's something wrong with the gutter. That's proof that two separate systems are intertwined and connected to one another. If you don't think that a house is a system of interdependent parts, you're not going to do inspection very well. You have to realize that as you inspect one system, you're actually inspecting many others at the same time, okay? When you have 2 layers on the roof, typically when they're installed, feathered in, the first row of asphalt shingles will have a 3-inch exposure instead of a 5-inch exposure. So that's another clue that you have 2 layers of asphalt shingles. Downspouts, again, we'll go a little faster. When I'm on a roof, might as well inspect other systems and components of other systems while I'm there. So this is the bird's eye view of the service line, right? There's the overhead conductors, and there's the service entrance cable coming in. And we train you upon the specific components of the electrical supply coming into the home. And we identify things. So this is in the roofing class. Oh, no, this is in the electrical class, online electrical class, how to inspect residential electrical systems. So why don't you take that class and review that? That's a good idea. More components. Seems to be well installed. This is pretty typical when you have dissimilar metals. Aluminum on the top, galvanized steel on the bottom. So that happens when you have two metals that are different. So I'm a little concerned about the condition of that. It looks like it's been like that for a long time. And those roofing nails on that flashing are not sealed up. Anything that penetrates flashing and the roofing shingles is a water entry point if it's not sealed or properly installed. While I'm on the roof, I understand that I have a shed on this property, so I've got to get in the backyard and inspect that. That's not actually within the scope of a typical home inspection, but my brand of my company is that I will help my client understand the condition of anything that's in the backyard, front yard, side yard. If there's a pool, I'm going to wrap around it. I'm not going to do a full pool home inspection without being paid, but I will take a look at the shed. While I'm coming down the ladder, I'm looking at other components. The windows is a really great one. Second floor windows while I'm coming down. Really great opportunity to inspect the second floor windows when you're on the ladder. There's the gable vents. So now I have two gable vents, no ridge vent, possibly a powered roof fan, maybe soffits. Now I'm looking at downspouts. Downspouts should be diverting water far away from the house. We have a course on how to inspect for moisture intrusion. And one of the most common problems is moisture intrusion caused by improper gutter and downspout and splash block installations or maintenance. So there's an underground pipe. Don't have to inspect pipes that are underground, but I want to take a picture of that. There are trees nearby. Little metal roof, probably over the dining room there. Little bump out. Aluminum siding looks great. Different materials on the exterior. We have an exterior course, how to inspect the exterior. This is a true stone front. This is a house made out of concrete masonry units, concrete block, mortar joints in between, with a parging on the outside, just to give it some texture so it looks nice, and then it's painted. And sometimes these older homes like that are built and they have foundational cracks, like this one. Near a window corner is a common crack area. I lived in a house with concrete masonry units. The whole thing was built out of concrete blocks, and this is a common thing. It's not patched up very well. I like to patch it with like material. This was patched with white silicone. It never works really well. It's aesthetically unpleasing. Some of the parging near the bottom is falling off, kind of minor. The structure looks great. More cracking, pretty minor. I want to take pictures of the dense vegetation that obstructs my view of the foundation so I can prove that I did my best. And I take pictures of the elevations. You can see it's a relatively level lot, not really sloped away. There's the shed. Shed roof's okay. The interior is okay. There's the driveway. Asphalt driveway material is cracked. A lot of depressions, pothole areas. I'm just concerned about the height of the driveway in relationship to the garage floor. Doesn't look like it's sloped in the correct direction. It should be sloped away. I believe water is going into the garage, and there is some of my proof. Water has popped that front threshold area of the garage door, and they've drilled holes, drain holes, all along the front to catch the, I don't know why they just didn't do a trench, a French drainage trench, a grate with a metal grate, something. There are many different options to fix this problem where the driveway may be higher in elevation than the garage floor, or it could be sloped in where there's a negative slope towards the garage. Driveway's in poor shape. Some of the roots are popping up. I take a look at the curb, the sidewalk, typically their responsibility. In northern climates, you have to typically the owner has to shovel the sidewalk quickly after a snowstorm. I take a look at any kind of trip hazards as I go. As I'm doing the exterior, I think of walkways, driveways, walkways, steps, stoops, decks, porches. So this one is kind of odd. I see the front porch. 2 out of 3 posts are there. The middle one is missing. Do you see it? So I don't know why, oops, let's clean this up, why that post is missing. Don't know. So someone's got to answer that. Put the burden on the seller. You don't have to figure this out. You're not a structural engineer. And it may be okay. Maybe there's just cosmetic, but with a huge overhang, like 4-foot overhang, 5-foot overhang. But there's a post that was there, and now there was a post that was there, and it's not there anymore. So it could be a major structural problem or not. I'm not here to diagnose. I'm here to look for indications of, and you enter, you fill in the blank. I ring that doorbell. You'll know how many times I had people ask me about the doorbell. Low voltage systems is not part of my home inspection, but you know, they ask about the doorbell not ringing all the time. So I stopped doing that, and all of my inspectors are required to ring the doorbell and open and close the storm doors. No GFCI protection for the exterior receptacles and my GFCI here. So, you know, I use photographs for many reasons. One of them is to help document the condition of the home at the time of the inspection. The other one is to help me remember what I inspected and what the problems were. So I cross my fingers when there's something wrong. So no GFCI protection. Let's see. I'm going through the windows. Oh, I see a discharge pipe. Not sure where that's coming from. I quickly see, open a garage door, and I quickly see it's the sump pump right at the corner of the garage door with the discharge pipe going underneath the electrical panel through the foundation wall of the garage. Dry, bone dry in there, but indications that there was water. And obviously the gutters are overflowing. The grading is level, essentially level, and we have water problems in the front with drainage problems in the front of the garage. Now I start to put pieces together. Now I'm gonna look for maybe the crawl space or the basement having indications of prior active water moisture intrusion. This is a gas meter, natural gas, supplied to the house. Meter's on the outside, shut-off valve, meter, and then the line goes in. Electric meter is right there. Typically in Pennsylvania, those two are right next to each other. We already took a look at this from the roof. Secured very well, has the cable and telephone lines. But the sheathing, the cloth sheath around the entrance cable, around the service cable, going into the main electrical panel is deteriorated. So when I take a picture, I set my digital picture down to the smallest, least, lowest resolution, sorry, or in the smallest size. I'm not publishing a book. I don't need pictures that are megabytes in size, big pixels. They're all sized at 640, 480. Very small little pictures. And they do a really good trick. You can see it now. They do very well in explaining the condition of the defect that I found. So this needs to be replaced. Exterior water faucets are frost-free. That's great. No GFCI receptacle on that one. There's a drainage ditch, drainage pipe right there at the basement door. You could see that mud puddles up there, water puddles up there. they have water problems in this house. I have a garage door with a bunch of holes, poorly designed, poor workmanship, probably doesn't perform very well to stop water from entering the garage. I have a drainage problem here, so I added a drain to this existing concrete slab, and it's filled. It's just clogged. Bottoms of the doors look great. The fence, not part of my inspection, but I'll take a look at it. I mean, if it's fallen over, I'm going to comment on it. My client may have a dog, and they may be concerned that the dog's going to escape. The outdoor spots in the back are not installed properly. That's an exposed interior use only wire. So it's on the outside and it's not installed properly. That one too. And that's an exhaust fan, it looks like, from a bathroom, an old exhaust fan. Possibly it's the kitchen, so we'll have to pay attention to that. There's an air conditioner system that was installed after the house was built. I can tell that because the unit age is there and the size. The dryer, that doesn't look very good. That should be replaced. But the refrigerant lines and electrical line goes up into the attic space, up along like a channel going alongside the house up into the attic space. Now, I'm imagining we have an air handler in the attic and it's drawing air from the second floor ceiling through an air filter, goes through the evaporator, and is distributed out through some hopefully insulated ductwork that's installed properly. But I doubt that the ductwork went down to the first floor. So typically this retrofit was installed in the attic and they just left all the components up in the attic. So I'm going to take a look at that. So you can talk to your client about balanced distribution of conditioned air if you'd like. And we help you with that conversation in our training courses. We have several excellent advanced HVAC training courses and also indoor air quality and comfort and climate courses. Now I'm in the garage. I want to take some pictures of the garage. The garage typically is the dirtiest area. It's got a bunch of, could have a vehicle, a bunch of ladders, tools, things hanging off the wall, things on the floor and on the ceiling, just all over the place. All of this is a way for me to document the inspection restrictions at the time of the inspection, right? But I'm going to do my best to take a look around. I'm going to walk carefully around everything, and I'm going to see everything best I can. I've got 2 garage door openers. First thing I like to do is open them up and close them and test the eyes, the safety eyes, the reverse laser beams. And they're not there. They're not installed. So again, an X tells me not installed. So there's one of the units installed there. And it's installed and plugged into an extension cord. Extension cords are for temporary use only. This garage door opener needs to be, both need to be, each needs to be plugged into its own dedicated receptacle within a few feet of the unit. No GFCI protection in the garage. The dryer actually is in the laundry room on the other side of the garage door, the other side of the firewall, and a hole was drilled through the firewall and a dryer vent pipe, this foil stuff, was used, and it's exhausting outside. Fire hazard, other hazards too. So we could have gases coming from the garage into the home being drafted in, and we could also have, if there's a fire, it could, from the garage, it can easily pass through the firewall, through that opening. So this is not safe. It's against modern code. Back then, they probably actually went outside and used the clothes hanger to dry their clothes. That's how old this home is. So watch for retrofits. So I'm taking a look at the structure of the garage. A lot of improper wiring, a lot of wires just hanging with a staple and some duct tape and twisted around. The fire door is not to modern code, but at least has some metal on it. So I'm identifying that, the firewall. I take a look at the main beam, the center beam, and the post, how it goes into the concrete. So we have and proper wiring, right? And we also have a patch here, typically a bathroom above the garage ceiling. So this is kind of like a fun house. There's a thermostat in the garage, and that's connected to, it's not electric. It's connected to, some kind of water heater system, right? Oh, I must have a gas-fired boiler. Now I'm connecting two pieces together. So this is a, basically the switch turns on a fan when it gets hot enough. Hot water goes through this radiator, and the fins get warm, and the fan turns on, blows the garage air through the fins, and heats up the garage. I've inspected these before. They're very basic. They last for a very long time, but this one did not turn on for me. So we need someone to help us with this unit. And there's the dryer vent. And there's the water stain. This is when your infrared camera comes in handy, or your moisture meter comes in handy. And by the way, there is a deal going on with our e-commerce partner, Inspector Outlet. So for all of you that are attending this live home inspection training class, you can get a big discount from Inspector Outlet on the spectroscope, the flashlights. Hold on. Let me get the flashlights. On these awesome flashlights, huge lumens with them, and this moisture meter. But just for those who are attending this live class, just contact inspectoroutlet.com and ask for a discount. It's only valid until the end of this year, and it's for InterNACHI members only, and for those who are attending this live class. So congratulations and thank you, Inspector Outlet. So for those students who didn't show up tonight, so any kind of water indications, I'm going to follow up with a moisture meter. I don't have to. It's not required by the standards of practice. But this is how I brand myself. I tell my potential clients that are visiting my website to figure out why they should hire me. I tell them that I bring tall ladders, right, and special tools to help me see what other inspectors can't see. And I can bring in my moisture meters as well. So tools is really an important way to brand yourself. Training, certification, and tools. Improper wiring. So they got a wire and they wired it in. I know what they did. They wired it into the light fixture above. They went right through the drywall and they pulled out power and went to the garage door openers. Yeah, that's insane. So it's a fire hazard. Structural cracks in the floor. Not surprised. There's water problems all around the basement, all around this structure. Electrical. Electrical is a mess. I wanted to show you this because this is really, I don't know if you inspect fuses anymore, panels with fuses. Very old homes have this. I can't believe this wasn't updated, but this is an actual live fuse panel that has been adapted to the homeowner's needs over time. They need more power, so they only use a couple of them. The breaker for the air conditioner blower is there, and a couple of fuses that are overfused for the gauge wire, that's there. And then they have an older General Electric breaker panel, a little bit modern, but there's just not enough breakers for this house. So they're really, I bet they're double tapping and just a lot of mess inside. So we need an electrician. You do not have to take off the front dead cover. If I do, hopefully I got my gloves on, my PPE, I got some goggles on, safety goggles. I'm on I have nice dry surfaces. I'm not standing in puddles of water. You don't have to take the front dead cover off. So don't. Be safe. But in this inspection I did, I want to show you what I saw. Of overfusing, so the fuse is way too big for the small gauge wire. The sheathing on the cable, the conduits, the lines, they're damaged. That's a hazard. Double taps at the main lugs. There's newer wiring, newer Romex and older wiring. A lot of double taps, neutrals and grounds together. There's a double tap breaker there. They just need a lot of help here. There's missing a lot of, there's grounds that are twisted inside, but there's improper wiring and connections on the inside. They're just using tape, and I'm missing, there's a lot of things in here. Missing clamps at the knockouts. There's some damaged wires. This could be for a generator. So the electrical panel needs help. Electrical system needs help. And that's no ground faults on the outside, right? Improper spotlights. Remember, improperly wired. The garage has wires hanging all over the place. So you have to remember all the components and put them all into the electrical system, part of the report. Thermostats. Do we have any questions? You guys can ask questions. Ladies and gentlemen, may I ask questions? Anything? Nope. Okay. Couple thermostats. So there's a thermostat there. It looked like the garage thermostat, remember, for the, let's call it the boiler system. And there's another thermostat, same type, same age. Then there's another thermostat. That's probably for the air conditioner. And it actually was. As I go up from the garage, up the stairs, I realize that there's a bulge in the wall. So as I'm going up, I'm looking at everything. Trip hazards at the stairs, railings. We have surfaces all over. Look at the floor surfaces, the wall surfaces, ceiling surfaces, looking for watermarks, and this huge bulge in the structural part of the house, probably settled at the band rim joist area, and they never fixed it. Or maybe there's something continually going on. I don't know. I'm going to call it out and ask for further investigation. There's a boiler system right next to a hot water source, gas-fired boiler, gas-fired hot water tank, natural draft at the boiler, natural draft at the hot water tank. The components of a boiler system is a bit complex. There are valves controlled by thermostats that allow the water to flow because there's a pump at the, essentially a boiler is a big container, typically cast iron, filled with water, flames underneath, heats up the water. A pump turns on at a certain temperature and circulates the water throughout the house. Multi-zones could be controlled by thermostats, and there's valves and different pipe distribution zones. So you turn on a valve, the water's circulating, a valve opens up, turn on a thermostat and a valve opens up, and that water then flows through. As it flows through, it's going through a radiator, and it's releasing its energy out. And it comes back cooler to be reheated by the boiler again. These boilers get really dirty, especially oil-fired boilers. Gas boilers need to be cleaned, and this one hasn't been touched in many years. I like to look at the flame color if I can, or the service record. If it hasn't been serviced in the last year, I call it out. That's a pump. Pressure, water temperature gauges, TPR valve, safety devices. There's an expansion tank. When water heats up, it needs to expand. This helps that expansion. A main shutoff switch to turn off the electric, a service switch. And then the flue pipe and a connection to the chimney. Remember the chimney, the rusted one? Dissimilar metals, galvanized rust. This is the bottom of it. The fire flashing is improperly installed. It's loose, very loose. The whole pipe was actually sagging a little bit. So it's sagging, I can push it up. There were no fasteners to connect the pipe connections together. It's shared with the gas hot water source, natural vent. So the heating system needs to be cleaned and serviced, and the flue pipe needs to be secured, and the fire stop flashing needs to be fixed. Water supply coming in. public water, water shutoff valves, water meter, missing jumper cable in case the water meter is replaced. There's the main water line coming in through a crawl space part of the basement. And now I'm looking at structure as well. Concrete block, little crawl space area, not very big. I'm looking at wood, untreated wood in contact with concrete, and we have water problems down in the basement. A main water line was cut off and a new water line was installed. Improper electrical junction. They just spliced right into an existing cloth Romex, and so they didn't use a junction box. They didn't do electrical wiring in this house very well. Hot water tank, date of installation. Nice. Everything's good at the hot water tank. Laundry, drain pipe. I turn all the fixtures on. I look at the trap. I even squeeze the trap, the soft brass. Some of them break right open. There's the dryer exhausting into the garage, gas shutoff valve. The bathrooms, run all the fixtures, flush the toilets, run the sinks. GFCI, no GFCI in the bathroom. There's a receptacle at the light fixture, which should be GFCI protected. There's no mechanical vent, so it's just a window. The doors are kind of sticky at the corners. Windows, doors, receptacles. See this in the basement. We're still in the basement here. And if you take a look, this is a perimeter French drainage system of some kind. That's a concrete block cover over a ditch, I'm assuming, with maybe some gravel and some pipe that leads all the way to the crawl space sump pump. That was interesting way of doing that. So my hunch that there are water problems with this house are pretty much confirmed because they installed that drainage system. But they have furniture and it's a finished basement. You know, it's living. Looks kind of white paint. Maybe they recently painted it. Looking for any indications of water now. And there's rust. So that's the baseboard radiator system, and it's totally rusted. So water rusts metal. There's indications of water penetration here as well. On several surfaces, the carpet has a stain, the baseboard trim has a stain, this trim has a stain, this wall paneling has a stain. It extends all the way over here. This has been painted over to make it look good, but I think this is after it's been painted. So right now I'm just calling it out as active, right? But I'm going to use my moisture meter. When I can, I pull up the carpet so that nobody complains about it. I don't go crazy, but look, this is all wet. So this is a wet carpet, wet stains, moisture. So it's a good thing I have a digital camera because it'd be kind of difficult to explain what I see. It's actually wet to the touch. Best tool inspector can have is your hand. So we have water problems in the house down in the basement. This is my extendable moisture probe. It's an old version of this. I like this actually, but it's this essentially on a stick. So there's moisture indications all around. There's the attic air handler. Air filter is in the ceiling of the second floor. Pull down stairs, totally inefficient. It's not insulated. Doesn't have a nice seal around it. The pull down stairs is not insulated itself. There isn't a cover on top. This is essentially a huge, big 3x5 hole, 15 square feet. It's like an open window, essentially, allowing conditioned air to escape naturally through stack effect through the attic floor, which is not insulated. It's not insulated, it's not sealed. It's like having a window open in the middle of winter, right? The floor is insulated, but it is just filled with stuff, so inspection restrictions. But I want to get to that air handler. There's an old fan in a gable vent, doesn't work. There's the stairs going down. There's some duct work here and there. All looks okay. There's the air handler, service record, manufacturing label. There's a leak pan, water catch pan. That's great. A nice workable surface in front of the unit. It's all looking good. The drainage was installed properly, but the air filter is actually missing. The air filter is missing and the slot is open. Incredible. So I don't know what happens in the hot summertime, but essentially there's no circulation of interior air into that unit. It's all being sucked from the hot attic space in the summertime right into the evaporator coil if it's open like that. And we have partners that provide air filters, really good stuff, and also covers. So you can advise your client about covering the open air filter slot, even if there's an air filter in it, with a metal manufactured cover. It really can be sealed up. It really should be sealed up to be energy efficient. And this kind of stuff about changing your air filter, about the air filter cover, is part of the service that we provide. During my inspection, I used to give my clients as much information as possible. So I would give a home maintenance book. We have, Internet actually has a home maintenance book you can give to each one of your clients. And we also have a free monthly newsletter, 5 years worth of a monthly newsletter that's totally customized by you. So let's say you find a missing air filter in the attic air handler. You want to teach your client about the things that you find during your inspection. So you turn around and tell your client, you write it in a report, you take some pictures. But also this customizable homeowner newsletter system allows you to mark that defect in the newsletter, and Shazam, when they receive the newsletter from you through our system, it talks about the importance of maintaining your air conditioning system and air filters and indoor air quality, things like that. So take a look at this home maintenance newsletter. It's a free monthly newsletter that you can offer to every one of your clients. And it helps you keep in touch with your clients as well, not just educate them. So if I can, I'll take a look at the inside of the evaporator. That's a really cool shot. It's filthy dirty, needs to be cleaned. There is a chase, a vertical chase from the lower floor, the basement floor. Remember, we're in the basement looking at the fire stop flashing? Well, that goes all the way up into the attic. So air from the basement, which is nice and warm in the wintertime because the boiler's on, is just going right up through that chase. And the air from the nice warm rooms in the wintertime on the first and second floor are not insulated. You can see the studs, they're exposed. And all that air and energy is going through this chase and right up through. So now you have an open, essentially an open window where the pull down stairs are, losing energy. When a house loses energy, loses air, it bleeds energy and it bleeds money. It loses energy and loses money. We actually have a training and certification about how to become a home energy inspector. You're trained on looking at these things during a home inspection and describing them in a way that is related to saving energy and increasing comfort. So we actually have for United States, members in the United States only, a free home energy report software you could use as well. So contact me if you want to know more about that. Well, anyways, there it is. There's that chase. And it's not even supported really well. They have clothes hanger wire holding and securing the unit. And there's interior cable, electrical cable, in contact with the hot flue pipe. really dangerous situations. All right, so there's the attic. The fan did not turn on for me, manual fan. It's on the thermostat, but you can manually turn it on, and it did not kick on for me. So not ventilated well. I do the bathroom fixtures, ground faults, basically the same thing. Flush the toilet, run the sink, do some GFCI, take a look at those finishes, the ceiling, the walls, the floor, run water at the tub, shower. Some inspectors fill up the shower to make sure the shower pan is okay. This one was pretty easy. The plastic walls that were installed over the probably deteriorated original tiles is cracked. So there's a lot of cracking, especially at the handle area. So it's not safe. Someone's going to grab that and depend upon that railing to be there, that handle to be there, and it's going to crack on them. So that is a problem that cannot be patched with silicone. So you have to think about safety when you're in the shower. So all that works. I love to take open the plumbing access panel. I think every tub and shower should have a plumbing access panel for inspection. It should be a routine maintenance kind of thing for every homeowner to do, because you don't necessarily see the water leaks, but they're happening above the plaster or above the drywall. So I pull open that and I take a look at the trap and the fixtures and the pipes, and everything looks good on this house. Improper wiring, reverse polarity at the wall receptacle. I do the windows, the doors, receptacles, looking around, taking pictures, and I'm heading towards the kitchen. Smoke detectors. There's the living room. Looks pretty good. Interior is okay. Here's the kitchen. Fixture, newer fixture, drain pipe, supply lines, shutoff valves, looking great. GFCI protection, that's great. Dishwasher, I run a short cycle at the dishwasher, especially if it's empty and the house is vacant for a while and you open it, it smells kind of funny, not been used for a while. I'm going to test those gaskets. 1, 2 out of 10 times it leaks. Turn on the stove. It's a retrofit stove. I don't think a manufacturer did this. This looks like a couple drywall screws. A little concerned about the gas line that's so big and twisted around. And if I put on a big pot of sauce, and that stovetop is just going to collapse. The ventilation fan in the kitchen should exhaust outside. This one ventilates interior air, doesn't really do anything. And there's my microwave detector turned on just for a second. And there's the stove, and I turned that on as well. And that was the home inspection. Do we have any questions? If you have any questions, please feel free. We're just about 1 hour, so 6:30 to 7:30 my time, 8:30 to 9:30 Eastern. Here is the main URL for future live home inspection training classes, and all of our past live classes and webinars are at this URL. And if you're looking for everything that InterNACHI offers, well, it's at that URL, nachi.org/everything. It's basically a big step-by-step checklist of everything that InterNACHI has to offer. Go through that checklist. It's good for new inspectors as well as veteran inspectors. There's the standards of practice. We perform our home inspections according to a standard. That's the standards of practice, the international standards of practice for performing a general home inspection. Here's the main URL, and you should go here now if you haven't, because I'll show you why. There's a free book on here, our main URL homepage, nachi.org. You can download a free ebook, and it's actually this book. This is the printed version, and it's titled How to Run a Successful Home Inspection Business, and it's written by my brother, founder of InterNACHI, Nick Gromicko. It's free. Just download it. All right? And that is what I wanted to share with you. Do we have any questions? We don't have any questions, we have a ton of people online. Everyone's saying that you can hear me, but no one has any questions. Well, if you don't have any questions, I'm going to say goodbye. I highly recommend visiting inspectoroutlet.com. We have some amazing stuff there. Inspector Outlet is InterNetG's e-commerce partner. They sell cool things like this, and there is a special discount for InterNetG members till the end of the year. For certain items, there's a big discount. So contact Inspector Outlet, and this is for only InterNetG members till the end of the year who are attending this live class. So if you're interested in some tools, just email them, and it's sales@inspectoroutlet.com, sales@inspectoroutlet.com, or just visit inspectoroutlet.com. Any questions? I'm looking. Any questions? Here's some. Here's one. Greg asks, Ben, I see you using different hand gestures. Could you explain usage and reasoning? I like it and would like to know more. I guess you're not talking about as I talk, but as I take pictures, right? So you know, this is a bad thing. So I take a picture of my hand, one for scale, and the other one is to tell me what's going on, right? A lot of people spend I review a lot of home inspection reports. A lot of you are spending a lot of time with arrows and circles. What? Here. So take a picture of what you're taking. You know, if there's a flashing problem, point to the flashing problem and take a picture of it. If it's wrong and it's not evident, self-evident, you know, cross your fingers. That's a bad thing. How many layers on the roof? 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layers. At the electrical panel, I like to identify it as 200 amp, 150, 100 amp, right? Tonnage could be the same way. So use your fingers. Don't draw arrows and circles. Gosh, it takes so long, right? I'd rather you put more photographs in instead of more graphics. All right, Greg. Greg again. Ben, do you test receptacles for AFC and GFCI breakers from within the home using your tester? Yes, I do. But I'm really careful because nowadays, I learned my lesson. I turned off some bedroom receptacles and there was a computer plugged in and that wasn't good. So I make sure that I'm more careful with AFCIs than I am with GFCIs. GFCIs, I test them. I don't even ask for permission. I test them from the outside, and I listen for a breaker that trips or a receptacle. It's typically the bathroom. Master bathroom has the main GFCI for the other bathrooms, and sometimes they're the exterior ones. Sometimes the reset is at the garage. Could be a wall receptacle reset or a breaker that's reset. The AFCIs, if it's a vacant home, I'm going to test them. The breakers, I'm popping the AFCI breakers at the panel. They're supposed to be tested that way. It's okay. The other way to test them is through one of these testers, and you can do that from a bedroom, for example. But I want to make sure that I have permission to do so. And AFC it's difficult. If you can test it, test it. But I would ask for permission first, just to be safe. Should you call out S-traps? Yes. S-traps are no good. It's supposed to have P-traps. S-traps are no good, okay? So anything that looks like an S under a sink, call it out. Yep. It's not the most important thing when it comes to my mind, because it's so easy to replace. You can go to Home Depot and get these nice little kits. So if the sink is actually clogging on and on, or you're getting some kind of gurgling or siphoning, right? And you smell it. You could probably swipe it out for nothing. I would tell the homeowner this, right? So S-traps is like one of the easy things that new inspectors see and point out and call it a defect. Well, you know, when you get to be a veteran, S-traps are important, but we tend to focus on really important things, like somebody could get hurt if this isn't taken care of, or some of the nuances that new inspectors don't get. Veteran home inspectors can put things in perspective, and you can absolutely see an S-trap, point it out, but it's probably not the most important thing. You know, trying to find something that could hurt someone is probably on my mind more than that. It's going to be in a report. I'm going to take a picture of it. I'm going to talk about it, but it's not going to be number one on my list of things to go fix. Keep things in perspective. Brent says, so just ordered a flashlight last Saturday. Any chance I could get some money back? I don't know. I don't know. Why don't you call Inspector Outlet? Inspector Outlet offered a great deal for tonight. There may be deals in the future as well. They could have been deals in the past. This timing thing is difficult, but just go to Inspector Outlet and ask, I guess. I don't have anything to do with Inspector Outlet other than telling you where to get really awesome tools, especially the spectroscope. Alrighty, inspectoroutlet.com. Let's see. Thank you. All right. Greg, has Ben seeing the questions? Yep, I'm seeing them. I'm answering them. What is the link, Nicole? What is the link to the free book? It's that right there. NACHI.org, NACHI.org. You click the big red button that says download the free ebook. It's an excellent book. Mr. Coffer says, thank you for the time you put into educating us, helping to make better inspectors. You got it. Sean says, Ben, how long does an average home inspection take you to complete from the start to finish? Let's say on a 2,000 square foot home. Love this question. You have to take the home inspection business course. It's free, it's online, it's actually open to everyone. You don't have to be a member of InterNACHI. Take the home inspection business course. Because we figure out how to price your services. And it depends on various factors. Most important being your time. So how long does it take you to do a home inspection? Well, if you're charging about $1,000, right, I'd spend all day. That's about the right fee for me. $1,500, you got 8 hours of my time. Charging about $300, $400 or something like that, and you have to do 2 a day, well, how do I know that I have to do 2 a day and make $300? Well, you have to figure out with math, not just feeling, not just what the market says, not what your competitors say, but you have to figure out with math, and we do it for you in the business course, how much you charge. You figure it out with mathematics. Why? Because you don't want to waste your time and money getting into this business and not making profit. The whole point of business. You got to make some profit. How do you do that? Well, before you even start, you have a business plan. And you figure out things like this. What do I charge? Well, you look at the market. It's a combination of looking at the market, what your competitors are doing, the mistakes that they're making, and figuring out what you need to make. How much money do I need to make? How much overhead do I have? How much extra money, profit do I want to make so I can roll some stuff back into my business and I can go on vacation, you know? And how many days of the week? When at my top, I was working only 4 days a week. I was making a ton of money. And we had other inspectors doing the hard work. And I had a business partner. And I bought a home and I raised a family. Home inspection business is one of the best businesses in the world. So much fun because you have a business partner, InterNACHI, that helps you with everything that you need. Then you get to help people, really help people at a critical moment in their lives. You really get to help them. And you act as a third-party neutral professional. You're independent. You don't care about anybody else. You want to focus on your client. You get yourself trained, you focus on your client. Wow. How much do I spend on a home inspection? Well, I figured all this mathematics out to figure out how much profit I can make working 4 days a week. And it turns out I need to do 2 a day for 4 days a week, right? And that takes me to 8 o'clock is my first inspection, 12 o'clock is my second inspection, and I'm home before 5. I wake up at 6, 7, breakfast, preparing my computer, preparing my tools, get in the van. I'm there at 8 o'clock, maybe before that, 7:30, 7:45, so I can be on the roof and saying hi to my client. I've got 2.5 hours. At hour 2, 10 o'clock a.m., I know that I've got 1 more hour here. I got to get going because at 11 o'clock, I got to get out of here to get to my 12 o'clock. I have to leave myself an hour. I eat along the way. I don't stop at a restaurant or anything like that. Take good food with you so you have really good energy for your second inspection, and take a second shirt. Well, anyways, so I leave myself 3 hours. 2 hours, I know where I'm at the home. I'm probably coming down from the attic, doing the interior, getting to the kitchen where I'm all set up, and I'm gonna hit that computer as hard as I can, throw some stuff, extra stuff, maybe a couple pictures, the front picture, print out a summary, hand that summary to my client, copy to their agent, and ask them, would you like a full, complete report printed right now on site, or would you like me to email it to you tonight? A lot of them say, do it right now. And then I get to work. I download all my pictures, as many pictures as I can, into my computer. Nowadays, you just hit a button, Home Gauge, Home Inspector Pro, other inspection software. You just click a button and they all upload, but you got to put them in the right place in the report. And then I print out the full report, full color printer, print out 1 copy of the report, and I email the rest. I also turn my computer around and play the video of the inspection of the roof and other systems that I want my client to see, because I do video as part of my branding. And then I bind that report into a 3-ring binder with my home maintenance book. Now that you've had a home inspection, Internachi's home maintenance book. And I give it to my client. And I walk out there with my money. Then I get to my next job. So it all depends, the pricing all depends on how you calculate it. It's all in our home inspection business course. I think it's chapter 13 and 14. How do you price your services so you are profitable? So every time the phone rings, you know what to say, how much money to charge, so that you can make a profit. Otherwise, you're just guessing. And based upon that calculation, you know how many jobs you need to do in a week, in a day, in a week, or a month. And so that is a really long answer to a question, probably a very simple question. So I hope that was helpful, Sean. The easy answer is take our home inspection business course, and it's all in there. Mary says, please explain the process by which you get hired. Does the realtor recommend you? Second question, yes. For my business model, you write a business plan. In my business model, we've marketed to real estate agents. My goal was to have 30 real estate agent friends for every home inspector in my company. Because I knew out of 30 agents, probably 15, 20 of them are going to close that month and will recommend us, right? So that's how I thought. That's where most of our inspection business came from. You still have to put your inspection business online. You need a website. We had a live class a little while back, the video is recorded, on how to build your own home inspection business website for free in just a few hours. I actually showed you how to do it. And we give you the tools, the webmaster tools, that you can actually use in your website service. And it's all free. So we showed you how to do it. You don't have to don't feel compelled to hire anybody nowadays to get your business online. You don't need special skills anymore to build an amazing website. And I show you how. We show you how to do that in our training videos. Go to nachi.org/webinar to find the recorded video of that training class. You do that, you get your business online because you can network the heck out of it and get strangers to find you. Total strangers in your area who are looking for a home inspection, or clients who have hired you who like to talk about their experiences to all their friends. 20 years ago, you may do a home inspection for a client, they'll be at a party and they'll talk to a couple people. Nowadays, that same person would talk to 100 or 200 other people in their neighborhood because of social networking. And you can't tap into that without, one, doing great work, and two, getting your business online. So you have to be trained and certified. You have to know what you're doing. You have to take a home inspection business course. We actually have a customer service and communications course as well. You have to get your business online. And that's how you get hired. We have a marketing department that does one thing, and they do it really well. The marketing department isn't for InterNACHI. InterNACHI is doing well. The marketing department works for our members all the time. There are, I don't know how many we have now, half a dozen full-time designers, illustrators, and creative people who work on marketing and branding, who give one-on-one consultations for free with you. You can be a new inspector or a veteran, and we help you develop and define your brand. What distinguishes you from all the rest? Why should I hire you instead of this other inspector? That's what we work on. And then we develop the marketing, which is the way we send out that message through logo design, business cards, flyers, brochures, rack cards, apparel, vehicle wraps, and websites. So contact the InterNACHI marketing department as well to help you get hired. That's how you get hired. Okay, that's how I did it. And there's other things too. Like I had a company called Peach Inspections, and I actually went around real estate offices at the right time of the year and delivered little baskets, cute little baskets of peaches with business cards and flyers stuffed in them, with napkins and forks and knives. And I would come into the real estate office, the biggest ones next to my office, and I'd yell out, "Peaches are here," and I'd deliver them. And that was part of my marketing plan. And it worked. It worked really great. There were other things too, peach candy and sponsoring real estate meetings and things like that. But I had a business plan, and I stuck to my plan and adjusted it over the years. But basically, I figured everything out that I needed to do prior to me investing time and money. So take the home inspection business course. Marcel, thank you. Are you seeing the questions? Yep. I can hear you. Thank you. Anything else? All right, everybody. If you need anything, my name is Ben Gromicko. I'm from InterNACHI. That's the International Association of Certified Home Inspectors. We're the world's largest organization of residential and commercial property inspectors. My name is Ben Gromicko. Email me, call me anytime. And I'll see you next month. Bye, everybody.